And it ain't black or white. Ooh, yeah. But we are kissing in the daylight. Harmony. Kissing in the daylight. Harmony.
All right. Episode 2. My name is Patrick.
And I'm Bianca.
And this is Marriage Isn't Black or White.
But we are.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. Thanks for coming back and checking us out. This one, episode 2, is entitled Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. So this is us just sharing with you some of the adventures of the 2 years of us dating.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Dating life.
Just some funny stories.
Yeah. Funny stories that happen.
Experiences. Continuing kind of the timeline of events.
Maybe some cliffhangers. Will they make it?
Prior to us getting engaged. So, yeah. I think when we ended episode 1... Right, we had pulled. We pulled an all-nighter. That's where we left off. We pulled the all-nighter, getting to know each other. Stayed up all night talking, which is actually a good segue into our first little story.
Well, I was gonna say, so you went to work. Where you were working, you said it was.
I did work.
Hollister, right?
Yeah, I worked as an assistant manager at Hollister.
And I remember just going to the mall, and I was very much a gift guy. Right? Like if I would give you gifts, that's how I tell you I like you, right? I would take her cookies from Paradise Bakery and then of course, I can't just get one cookie for her because that's not the Nielsen Patrick way. No, we gotta have what it was like. How many cookies was it usually?
It was like a dozen.
It was like
a dozen cookies,
and I would take it down.
To work for me.
And then all the ladies, they loved me.
It wasn't the ladies.
They loved me.
They were high schoolers. Let's not send the wrong vibe here. Oh. I was out of college, and they recruited me because Hollister is classy that way. So yes, I oversaw all of these high school kids that thought it was amazing to be handpicked to work in Hollister at the mall.
Yeah.
But yeah, he would come all the time and just like hang out and wander through the store, which if you've ever been to Hollister, right, you know that it's loud and it's dark and has a very intense aroma. And he would kind of just linger and bring his cookie, not like in a creepy way, but just like you just I would bake like a lap. You were trying to just hang out with me while I was at work. Because some of the days were really long days for me, and so if you didn't come by and see me at work, we didn't see each other. So yeah, all of my coworkers really enjoyed him stopping by because everybody got sugar cookies and chocolate chip cookies, and it was really sweet. So.
Cookies.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's how young guys out there trying to land them ladies.
Bring your girlfriend special treats just because. That is the takeaway of that story. Yes.
It's like flowers.
But while I was working at Hollister, I lived
89th and
a little ways down the road. Yeah. So I went to college in California. And I got my bachelor's and then I got my master's. And while I was getting my master's, right, you don't live on campus. You have to find your own housing. So I had an apartment that I lived at when I was in California. And I don't know, I think I had like a 2-year lease or something, but I graduated, so my lease was still current, but I didn't have a need to be in California anymore. And so luckily they had partner apartments in Arizona. So I was able to like transfer my lease over to apartments in Arizona. I was really blessed because my mom had been paying for my apartment, and she essentially was like, I don't care what you get as long as it was cheaper than what I was paying in California, which tells you how times have changed, because I was able to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment at 89th and Bell
$860
for $800 a month.
$800.
Now that's like $2,500 a month.
Easy.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, I lived in this 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment by myself. It was great. It was cute and decorated. And that is said apartment that Patrick came over after our underworld tricked date night and Chili's debacle.
Yes.
And he would like, you know, I worked and he would come over and hang out and we'd watch movies and talk. And
Well, the strange thing I think about our relationship too is I think after that initial date, I mean, there was a span of what, 4 or 5 months before we really had a day where we didn't hang out.
yeah, we were together
Like, it was
at some
an-
point
like-
all the time.
It was annoying to other people about how, like,
But I think that's what happens when you're
I
in a
was
new
infatuated.
relationship, right? Like, you want to spend all your time with that person. Like,
I
you
did.
like hang out with
still
them.
do.
You want to get to know them. Like, I don't think there's anything weird about that. But what was weird was my sweet, sweet now husband showing up one day with a laundry basket and an Xbox. Laundry basket and the Xbox.
well, what happened was...
And there was probably like 3 shirts, 2 pairs of underwear.
Let me defend.
What, some context?
Okay, context. At this point, again, I'd just been spending the night there. Probably every night. It was every night.
I would say it was at least 5 out of the 7 nights. Like, we were together.
And so
Yeah.
finally, I was like, I'm so tired of not playing my Xbox. I brought my Xbox over and just some clothes because we were going to hang out. I think it actually might have been the birthday debacle. Like,
I don't
shortly
know.
before that, I brought that. But I brought some clothes over.
He's
And-
probably like secretly hoping for a drawer. You know,
Oh,
ladies, you know.
I'm just saying, it worked. So I brought some stuff over and then I just kind of eventually just didn't leave
I feel like when you
until I got a key.
when you're in a serious relationship. Granted, I can't speak from personal experience because this is my personal experience, but from what I've witnessed from some other people, or even just it's from movies, right? You watch the movie, and at some point somebody is like, I want to take this relationship to the next level. We have a conversation. Sally, I want you to move in with me. We went to a nice dinner. You open the box. Here's a key. I'm giving you a key to my apartment. Let's take the next step together. There was none of that in this particular situation. He literally showed up one day. I'm not exaggerating, y'all, with a plastic laundry basket with his Xbox in it and some extra clothes. And this fool never left. Like, there wasn't a conversation about like, I love you. Let's get more serious. Nothing. He just showed up and that was it. And I, even though I have 2 degrees, was just like, okay.
For like, it was what, 2 months I think in, and you were like, so are you just like living here?
I don't even think it was me. I think my mom said something and she was like, look, if he's going to be staying there all the time, then he needs to be contributing. And I was like, what do you mean? He's not like living at my house, Mom. And then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? He is. He just snuck right on in and just put a toothbrush in. I didn't even know. You were like just a moving in ninja, just a secret ninja. He just appeared like a bad rash. Just never left.
That's right. Sticking with you. Yeah. So
Yeah, it was really funny because he genuinely showed up one day with his laundry basket. I distinctly remember the laundry basket and Xbox and just never went home. That then at that point was now our apartment. And I mean, all the stuff was like mine, obviously, because he only brought his laundry basket and Xbox.
I'll tell you, I could probably still to this day fit my belongings into a laundry basket.
That is not true. I've expanded your wardrobe quite a bit.
That's true. And I have this big old computer, this desk here, this microphone.
But yeah, he just showed up one day and moved in, so there wasn't ever a conversation. And it was like I wasn't like mad about it. Like it made me laugh when I like stopped to think about it, and I was just like, oh yeah, like that like actually happened. That was kind of sneaky. That should have been also another red flag. Tricked me into a date. Snuck into moving in with me. Here's some serious red flags.
It's kind of cute though. That's how. What was your first reaction again? I was kind of cute, or kinda,
yeah. You're right. You were really memorable.
Yeah.
Again, I had to get there before you did, so you had to find me. But it's fine. It's worked out clearly. There are clear things in our relationship that are opposites attract. And it works for us.
It does. It does.
So I moved into my apartment, and still we continue to be together all the time.
Speaking of your mom as well, met your mom, meeting the in-laws. Guess who's coming to dinner?
Well, it weren't in-laws then, but yeah, meeting the family for the first time.
Yes, yeah, the family.
Yeah. Which...
Sounds like you're running mafia.
Meeting the family.
Hey!
That was a terrible one.
Well, come meet the family, eh?
I mean, walking into... The Bruces are... They're an intense bunch.
Here's the thing. Y'all think you're intense. It's not that intense.
I think you say that now because you've been around them for 13 years.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. Now I know how to play the room, though.
But, like, initially, before we get into the story, what was your first, like, thought of my crazy family when you, like, met them? He was supposed to meet them at my birthday. We'll circle back to this. He ended up actually meeting them on a holiday, which in and of itself is, like, stressful, right? And then you're going to bring in, like, the new boyfriend. So he actually met my family on Easter. I invited him for Easter dinner. But, like, walking in...
I think...
How did you feel?
I don't know. I was definitely nervous. And as we know from the first episode, like, Black culture was not something I understood or knew, so...
Oh, you're assuming I understood and knew it?
Well, at that time it was. Again, I forgot.
I just feel like my family's very fun, but we are, like, and I say we because myself included, right? Like, there are certain individuals in my family that are very judgy. There are certain individuals in my family that are very sarcastic. And if you're not, like, prepped or, like, mentally equipped to, like, know, like, my sister Angel is incredibly sarcastic. Whatever she says, she doesn't actually mean that. Like, you're walking on a landmine. You know what I mean? So...
Which is, like, Angel is always, like, I don't know. Like,
Angel's fine.
Yeah, I never...
But they can be kind of like, I'm trying to be funny, but it's really like that passive aggressive, like judging you, making fun of you, but like right to your face, not even behind your back. And it's even harsher when you're like new to the family. So yeah, I'm sure it was a little bit nerve-wracking. But he initially was supposed to meet my family on my birthday.
Yes.
That
didn't go as planned.
It did not go as planned. And I think you did plan the birthday. I think it was your plan.
I swore it was the Cheesecake Factory. She thinks it was BJ's.
No, it was not Cheesecake Factory. I vividly remember.
But she had a beautiful polka dot dress. Sleeveless.
I had heels
not sleeve,
on.
one sleeve.
It was a one-shoulder polka dot dress. I had heels on. And again, my family is big. All of my family now is in Arizona. So I was saying, like, pre-COVID, the BJ's was where we went for, you know, if somebody had a graduation or a birthday or anything, that was the restaurant that, like, we had just naturally been drawn to. The Pizookie is bomb, right? And so my birthday dinner was planned for there. There was like 12 or 15 of us. It was just all family. And Patrick was supposed to be there, but he was not feeling well.
Was not. I thought it was appropriate to go see a spring ball training game. Mind you, I mean, I was definitely not even near the shape I was in now. And I'm not in the greatest shape now, but going out there, sitting in the sun, no water. Oh, it was not a good mix. It was not. And I think you were the one like, man, you don't have to go. Like, just stay. And I was like, all right.
Yeah. So when I left, like, I was annoyed, obviously, because it was like, it's my birthday. And there was that feeling of like, you ruined my birthday because now you're going to not feel good. And like, that stinks. And then there was the added layer of, we were supposed to go to a restaurant where my whole family was there. You were supposed to meet them. And so now that stinks.
And I said, no, you can be mad at me. I'll show you.
Yeah. And so halfway through dinner, I do think it was your mom that called me. And your mom.
I'm pretty sure it's the first time you had a conversation with her.
Your mom somehow got my phone number and called me to tell me
Nick,
that you were really, really sick.
From Greg.
And you were trying to go to the hospital. And still, like, the story is hazy. I think what she had said was, like, you weren't feeling good, so you left the apartment, but you were, like, literally delirious. And so you figured out enough to, like, be able to call 911. Somehow they, like, tracked your GPS and were able to, like, street by street guide him to get to the hospital. And so I, dumb girl in love with your boyfriend, just like left my birthday dinner. Like, I have to go. Like, it was just abrupt, immediate. Like, I need to leave right now. And so I leave my birthday dinner.
It was like towards the end of it though. It was a good hour and a half, 2 hours after you left.
And I don't remember, like, I still can't remember why I went home first, but I went home and maybe your mom said something to me on the phone.
No one knew where, she didn't, I think, at the time know where I was. I think I was on the phone with Greg, but again, I don't remember.
And so for whatever reason, I think his mom mentioned like, well, he left the house, but like he didn't have any stuff, blah blah blah. So I went to the apartment, and he literally like Xbox. He just left. Like, the lights are on, the door was wide open. Like, anybody could have come into our apartment and either murdered me or like taken all of our stuff. So I like locked the door. I turned the lights off. I now am like en route to the hospital trying to figure out like where he is. And I get there and his best friend Nick was there with him. Don't know how Nick arrived. Not important to the story, but at least he wasn't by himself. I am still in full on birthday gear. Dress, high heels, and he is just like absolutely delirious. Like, he is dehydrated, he is like sunstruck, and has like no idea of where he is, why he's there, how he got there.
I was very concerned about throwing up in the bathroom.
He did get sick in the bathroom and was like really worried about like the fact that he got sick in the bathroom.
I think I was embarrassed that no one would clean it up.
And I was like, it's okay, they have people for that. I'm not that people.
Like, no one's gonna say anything and then it just doesn't get cleaned up.
But yeah.
That'd be gross.
That was supposed to be his introduction to my family. So I'm glad that actually didn't take place, because I feel like that would have been embarrassing. But
just hurling over.
Yeah, there was a lot of feelings at that birthday, because I don't like celebrating my birthday for a reason, and that kind of re-solidified why I don't like celebrating my birthday, because it always becomes a dumpster fire. So we had
I think that was the last time we had like a solid. No, because we go to beaches quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying.
So we had a redo of meeting the family. At Easter of that year.
Easter.
And so, you know, like later, you're walking in, meeting your family for the first time after you botched the first initial encounter. It's a holiday. I think like meeting people's parents on like a regular day is hard enough, but then like if you were to bring somebody home, like if you bring somebody home to meet them like at Christmas time or so, like there's always like I feel like an extra layer of something. And I don't think that like not to say like Easter's not important, because it is important to me, but
it's different than Christmas.
It's different than Christmas, but I mean, it's still like there was enough of my enough of our family that was there for it to be kind of its own, like it's an intimidating.
It's not really like a travel holiday, but I think a lot of that is why I think a lot of people meet on holidays, the in-law or the future in-law of the family, because.
Well, I think people meet on holidays because you think people are going to be on their best behavior at Christmas.
I think it's mostly, I think maybe it's just more out of state.
Sometimes, not all the time, though.
It'll be interesting to look up.
I think it's like you have more family together at holidays. So it's like I can introduce you to my mom, my dad, my grandma, my aunt, my uncle, everybody all at once. They'll all be there. What do you think? Why do people
I like the
introduce
behavior too,
significant others on holidays? I think, like, for me, I think it was just like kind of like I was saying.
It's just timing, yeah.
Well, not just timing, but like everybody's going to be there at once. So it's easier for you to just come on Easter, because then you can meet everybody, and I only have to do this one time versus having to arrange a time for you to meet my sister and my other sister and my brother and my mom.
You know, we should do this. Like the first time I met your best friend at the time, Brittany.
You don't have to say best friend at the time.
I'm the best friend now.
You are my best friend.
Take it over.
We didn't finish the story.
I got ADHD.
What was significant about you meeting my brother at Easter? What did you think about my brother?
He was very, very large man. Very scary.
I know, but what
Very
did you
muscular.
think about me and my brother?
I mean, we were.
Me.
I don't think we were like together dating. But this is definitely after episode 1. I had a hunch or inclination that perhaps maybe someone was possibly already taken off the market, and or maybe just widowed. You know, I don't know. You didn't talk about him, so I was like, oh, maybe it's.
What did you see that led you to that conclusion?
During the stalking of the Facebook, there was specifically a photo of you and a very strapping gentleman and 2 beautiful children, and I was like, oh, she's already taken, and this is supposed to be my wife, and I had a dream that it was supposed to be my wife. You know, what the heck's going on? I don't know.
So on my Facebook, when he was doing his investigating, he came across the picture of me and my big brother and his 2 kids. Now, we will find the photo and share it at some point.
Maybe.
So I can understand how looking at this picture, we now laugh about it. Like, whenever David and I like take pictures together, we can't stand next to each other because we always look like we're a couple.
Exactly.
And it's not intentional. Like, we're not like that's not how we are in the photo, but we're just, I don't know. It just, anyways, it was not intentional. So we did look like we were a family. However, at the bottom of the caption said like my big brother and niece and nephew or something. So Patrick just failed to read the caption at the bottom of the photo to know that this was not my husband.
So yeah, I did walk in,
I'm not a
and I
single
saw
mom,
him,
and these are my kids. So he meets them, and all the pieces kind of start to come together.
I do remember now because afterwards we left, and I was like, "So that's your brother?"
It's like, yeah, that's my brother. My brother's reaction of you was he was trying to be like a tough big brother, and he like totally had this game plan and mindset before Patrick came to the house. And then Patrick walked in, and that entire thing, like,
he stood up real quick.
Totally shifted.
Hey, brother! Hey, what's going on? Just what came over, just, I don't know, he hugged me, I think, at one point.
I think he did hug you. Did, like, the bro hug.
I was like, hey, I don't know.
But, I mean, my brother's he's not a small guy. Like, he's 6'1", I don't know, 6 feet, 6'1". And at the time, I think he was pretty big because he was working out pretty consistently. But Patrick's 6'3".
I was like, I don't fight that guy.
And so, you know, Patrick walked in and he was like, yeah, like, I realized he was a lot bigger than I was. So his whole attitude just, like, immediately changed towards Patrick once he actually saw him come through the front door.
I think he saw, like, oh, this dude's, like, a genuine... I mean, he had to have looked at my boots and been like, man...
He ain't got it together.
No, he was like, those are lugs.
Oh, I don't think so.
Those boots were rocking.
I don't think.
By the way, I pretty much just wore those boots the whole time we dated.
Yeah, I don't think you
Those
owned
brown. Can we just look?
We
I don't know how to show it on here though.
figure it out. We
need to figure that out.
Yeah, that's what also arrived in the laundry basket. It was the laundry basket, the Xbox, and those work boots.
Those brown.
Those brown
Too
work
early 2000s, late 2000s.
That's what was in them. It was funny. So yeah, but meeting my family, I think, was like not totally disastrous.
No. That was good. It's
You survived and you didn't run away after meeting them on Easter, so I guess I'll take that as a win. You're still here.
What did your sister say about me after dinner? What was their first impressions of me?
I don't know. I don't even know that I talked to him.
What about my brother? Or your brother?
David, I just remember like he made the comment about
That's right. Yeah, we talked about that already. What about your mom? Did your mom say anything? Was she like, oh, he's so handsome?
No. Like my family is like.
She thought it was not all there.
I just don't know that anybody was like sold yet.
Kelly was.
You know, like I don't know if they were convinced. But I also.
Kelly was Team Patrick from day one. Kelly was a real homie.
I don't know that I particularly was even worried about what they thought. Like I don't know that actually like genuinely was a concern.
Well,
I wasn't like,
yeah.
oh my god, like I wonder, like I'm like super stressed out about like what my mom's gonna think about
If you think about it, we weren't living together. We weren't dating. Yeah.
We were just two people who met at church. Yeah.
We're just hanging out.
No, I think like now that I'm thinking back, I think that there was just something different about you and our relationship, even if I didn't know, like I didn't know it in that moment, where it wasn't a concern. I don't like you didn't leave, and I wasn't like, okay, mom, like, what did you think about him? Like, did you like him? Like, was it like, what did you think?
That's good.
And I don't. If they mentioned something like that was whatever, it's fine. Obviously, I don't remember because it wasn't that important. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I just think I wanted you to come over and meet them because they're, you know, my family. They're people in my life. They are important. I'm not like gonna kick them to the curb or anything, but yeah.
I like your family.
Did it
Angel.
Did you have any like second thoughts after meeting my family? You'd be like,
No, I remember your brother, and I was like, that's kind of weird. He was very friendly. And then I remember Angel, and I'm like, I literally, like, since day one, like, I feel like me and Angel are on the same brain length. Like,
wavelength?
Wavelength.
Yeah.
Like, she's absolutely hilarious. And, yeah, we have a good time. We get us all together. We get rowdy.
Yeah, she's my favorite. Don't tell anybody else. So, yeah, that was meeting
the family.
Meeting my family for the first time at Easter.
Easter dinner. I think all my family's reactions to you was like, okay. I'll just be honest with you. Like, this is how I describe to people, okay?
Ooh, I have a question.
This is what happened. Hold on.
I know.
So, I'm not the most athletic guy. All right, I'll be the first to say it. But it's like a guy like me with this frame somehow gets into Major League Baseball. I'm willing, call me up. First at bat, I just home run right out the stadium. I don't even walk the bases, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even walk the base. I just say, you know what? I retired. Met this lady, retired. I like there just was like she. Oh, it was something you were saying the other day. You're like, oh, like I just worry sometimes you'll find some or something, and I'm like, there's no one can compete. Like there's
You're
this.
gonna realize that I'm a crazy sociopath and immediately divorce me.
Yeah.
Realize that there's somebody
Who tricked who?
else.
Maybe she tricked me.
Maybe.
What's the sign for help? How do I?
I don't know. You just mouth it. Okay. Here's my question.
Yes.
Ties into the title of our podcast. You never dated a person of color prior to me.
Valid. True statement.
What was your family's reaction, if any, knowing, meeting, seeing, or hearing you talk about me, knowing that I was black?
Well, everyone was pretty much just like I said. They're like, okay. And then my mom was just super excited.
Because I was black? Or just that you were dating a girl?
Just
He's done it, folks! He's finally done it!
no. Yeah, I love my mom. She gets very excited all the time. So, no, she, yeah.
Like, was it a concern for anybody?
No, I mean, well, Brian was already
Well, I guess that's true.
not married.
No, they were dating or engaged.
So engaged, yeah. Like recently, yeah. I remember my granddad. I mean, he grew up just thinking that people of color were not as smart as white people. And, like, it wasn't like an anger or like a... Like, it was just an ignorance he had. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
I know, like, for me, nobody cared because we would joke about it and they'd be like, Bianca, you're the whitest black person we've ever met. And then when I went away to college, obviously I had to go to school in California. Obviously I had to go be in Orange County. Like all of their, you know, in their mind, their stereotypes just like lined up. I am like the embodiment of a valley girl trapped in a tan body, blah, blah, blah. I don't think opposite, like high school, college, that I ever dated a black guy. Like that's just, it was not my jam. White guys, I would date like Hispanic guys. Mixed guys was like as close as I got. So like bringing like a 6'3" white guy home was not, they were like, oh yeah. I know nobody cared.
That's true. I think the only people I really noticed that cared were people we didn't know, and it was a lot of the times just walking through the mall because you worked there. We walked through there a lot. A lot of the older company. I remember I told you a lot of old people.
I remember you telling me that, and I was like, no, like I don't see it. Like I don't know. Like I don't notice it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think once, and then I think when we were dating, I noticed it more.
Yeah.
And then when we got married, you noticed it more, from more of like the lady side. Mm-hmm. They see the ring and they're like, "You took that hunk of a man off the market." You.
I don't know if I started to notice it more, which you're totally changing topics now, but it's fine. Like after we got married, more so is once we started having, like once the girls were here.
True, yeah. Definitely with the girls.
And not necessarily like in a bad way. I think what you noticed when we were dating was there was just more of that awareness of our surroundings, because I think part of it was just you were like, I'm your girl, and you're just being protective, and so you notice like people, their heads turning, and you're like, why is your head turning? Like,
well, I think more like that specific incident during that you had like asked, like, or like when I was upset about it, like there was times like, especially like the older generation, like they would just look and they're just like, yeah, like that. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
yeah.
But I mean, especially with everything going on now, I mean, it's probably a good thing to talk about. I mean, it's what, been 60 years? How long? How long ago was it illegal for me and you to get married?
It was only like 40 years. It's not that long.
Like, that's insane to think about. Like,
that.
we were a generation, you know, your parents, even our parents.
There was a movie that they did, and now I can't think of it.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of the name, though.
It's called Love Something. Hold on. I'm going to find it. Can't spell either is part of my problem. Ooh, something.
Oh, You People. That's a great. If you want to see what it's exactly like to be a mixed couple.
That is not, I feel like that is not a true representation. That is not everybody.
As a white guy, Jonah Hill, you nailed it, dude. You nailed it. It's exactly how I felt the entire time. What's your dad wear? What's the thing that he wears sometimes?
This is, I
the
don't
thing,
know.
the colorful. I want to say chakra. Is that what it is?
Not that black. I don't know what it's called. I know what the lady's called. It's,
she knows what I'm talking about.
the name of the movie is Loving.
Loving. That's
Loving.
good.
And
oh, that's the one girl from Preacher.
oh, it is. I didn't
Look
realize
at that.
But yeah, it talks about this like interracial couple that had a court case, Loving versus Virginia, because it was illegal for like black people and white people to be married. 1967.
That was when my mom was born.
1967.
That was when my mom was born, so yeah.
Like it's not like it hasn't been that long, you know. And sometimes, like I remember after watching that movie, like I think I cried at some point, not immediately, and it was just like the realization that it wasn't that long ago. Like had we been born just like 30 years earlier, like we would not have been allowed to get married, and that's absolutely crazy.
Well, we would be able to get married. It'd be like 60, like 2 generations.
Yeah.
Because that's when it finally was like, they were like, oh, yeah.
But still, I mean, even though like they
Even to
passed
this
that
day,
law,
though.
like it didn't make it okay in people's minds. Like it was significantly
Yeah.
uncomfortable for a long time after that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's obviously like more common now. Like, I don't think people are
it's very
as
common.
surprised when they see
Maybe not
mixed
very.
couples of any kind floating around.
Well, let me ask you this from the black culture side of it. Like, how does, like, do you get any strife for being with a white male?
No, because I don't hang out with black people.
All I hang out is with black people. So.
No. Not in my like personal experience, no. But I think some of that is because I've always dated non-white guys.
I never,
It's like my immediate friends, like it's not anything that they're surprised by.
Gotcha.
I
would say it's more common.
and I
than
don't I
No.
personally don't feel like I fit the
Maybe
stereotypical
not.
black woman box. So I am not surrounded by a lot of people that would take offense to the fact that like I dated a white guy or married a white guy or have, you know, interracial babies. Like it's just not like who I've surrounded myself with. But yeah. I do remember though you getting like very like mindful about like people looking at us holding hands and stuff, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then like slowly I became like more aware,
Well, get
and
remember,
I would notice like, and again it was like it is a lot of like older people that kind of like
Like I grew up
do
though,
a double take.
Before interacting with you. I mean, a handful of black people in my life growing up in the Nazarene church, and then and then being with you at again almost every single day for a couple months there, and it was definitely an eye opener to me, because as a white person growing up, you know, during that time, I thought it was like so long ago, and it was like it just wasn't a thing. Like you had pockets of maybe like people that were just still
stuck in their ways like that mindset.
But it's
crazy.
It is crazy to think, and I am definitely cautious now because, you know, I want to protect my family, and well,
I mean, I tend to live in the land of sunshine and rainbows, and I like to think
I try to be
the best of people, and give people the benefit of doubt, and think that everybody has good in them until they prove me otherwise, right? Like, I'm not just going to come out of the gate and be like, you're a liar and a terrible person because of X, Y, and Z. Like, I wouldn't have a reason to until you give me a reason to. But yeah, I mean, I think like with older people, it's just the unfamiliar, right? And so it's not like when you see us walk through the mall.
Yeah.
Okay, you can turn around and do a double take. Like, that has nothing to do directly with me, but
I think that was the best thing we did about it, was nothing. We just ignored it and carried on and loved each other. And still, I mean, I love you.
I think times that like I did get frustrated again, it was after we had the girls. I remember when we went up to Prescott. I don't even know if Sloan was born yet, so it might have just been Kaya, and she was a baby.
Yeah.
And we went up with your family, and we went to a restaurant, and like it was Patrick and me and Kaya and your mom and Buzz.
Yeah, and everyone was just
like oogling around her, right? Because as we get into the story, we have a mixed redheaded baby. So Kaya is a redhead. You don't see it very often. I get it. She's a magical unicorn. But as we were sitting there eating lunch, like you could just see like all of these people trying to like figure out what the how the family worked.
I think you said it the best way, and you said it felt like everyone was. It was like you felt like everyone was looking to see who you belonged with, and it was like, well, I mean, you belong with all of it, but I understood what she was saying too.
Like it felt like it was like, they were trying to figure out like, were Patrick and I a couple, and this was our kid, or was it Patrick and like I was the nanny? Or like you could just see like the wheels just turning, trying to figure out like how the dynamic.
I think my sisters were there. Someone else was there.
No, I think it was Nina and I don't remember her husband's name.
Maybe.
I don't think the sisters were there. Greg might have been there, but like Brian wasn't there. But like yeah, like and Shirley came in and she had Kaya, and like initially, like, everybody was like, oh my God, the baby's so cute, and her hair, and your mom is so sweet. And she's like, yeah, and it's like my husband's beard grows red, and like my daughter-in-law is beautiful. And then like I came like in like 10 seconds later, and everyone was just like,
what's going on here?
What is happening in this weird family? Like, so I think that was kind of like a pivotal like turning point of me just being like a little more mindful of like my surroundings and how people are looking and reacting and thinking. But it wasn't like nobody's ever like approached us and been like, oh my gosh, you guys are terrible.
No, there was that one guy.
Why are you with a white woman?
There was that one guy.
Why are you with a black woman?
There was the one guy.
Who?
We were walking. We were walking in the mall. It was a black guy and a white girl, and we both did the head nod exchange. He went like that, and I went like,
Like he was giving you the nod of approval?
Yeah, we approved. We both approved. So.
Interesting. I don't remember that. But I mean, but that's different. Nobody's approached us in like a negative way and said anything to us, which I've been really, really grateful
awesome.
for.
Yeah. And please don't.
And please don't.
Because I don't.
Nobody's like approached us about the girls and like made a scene in any capacity that way. So yeah. Anyways.
There's another thing I wanted to go over. I forgot.
Oh, well.
We were kind of right. Let me see the list again.
Valentine's?
Valentine. I mean, I want to. The I love you. We may have to extend this out to episode 3 for
Episode
the proposal.
2.0.
Like up to the proposal.
Episode 2.0.
You know, that's what we can do. Romantics, right? Because I would do Valentine's. Saying I love you, right? Right? That can be part of the proposal. So episode 3 will be the proposal.
That'll be all you. I wasn't part of that. I mean, like, obviously I was. I said yes, I was there.
Gosh, there's
kind
so
of.
much.
But all of the thought process and backlog, that'll be a Patrick
All I know is I need to make a ton of money in the next 5 years because either you're 10 or you're 15. Like I owe you a redo proposal, I think.
No.
I think I do.
I liked my proposal. We need to figure out how to put, like, stuff on there. Because that would be, like, something fun. Well, you wiped your phone. You probably don't have the video anymore.
Well, yeah, we're going to do that later. We'll figure that out later.
Of, like, putting a clip or, like, the picture up.
What were we talking about before what we just got finished talking about?
Meeting the family.
Meeting the family.
I'd asked if any of your family had weird words to say after finding out I was black.
Racial.
And then it segued. How was that? Easter dinner, holidays?
Man, it was really important. Yeah. I was like, one thing we got to make sure we remember. And then I stopped talking for a second about because it was getting late. And then
you botched it.
It's gone forever.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about those ones? You want to wait?
Something. I mean, we're at 45 minutes, so we're already over first episode, and I think those all tie into the proposal anyways.
I mean, some of them. This was our first one. This was like... That's fine.
Or we can just do we can do episode 2, part 2.
That's fine. Whatever you want to do.
We'll do that. Because it is getting late. And then...
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
I got work in the morning.
Adults.
Ugh. So hard.
Adulting.
Anyways, well, thank you for making it for 47 minutes if you lasted this long hearing us ramble
And
about
please don't. Honestly, just... Again, this is just...
our
Just
dating stories. Yeah, we're happy you're here. If you like our video,
I'm happy you're here.
what did they say? What does Kai say?
What?
Make sure to hit the thumbs up,
So
like and subscribe.
I know. She was so
You guys
jealous,
are-
did I tell you?
No.
You posted something on... You're on YouTube now?
We made it. We've made it in
Yeah.
our daughter's eyes. We're finally real.
She was talking about how we're going to buy a house soon. I'm like, boo-boo. No, we're not that YouTube, no.
But yeah, we'll do like a part 2, episode 2, part 2. Guess who's coming to dinner? Continued,
Yeah.
and then
Let's do a part 2.
we'll go from there. But we are happy that you guys are here. Thanks for sticking around with us, and see you next time.
See you next time. We're going to try this outro one more time here. Again, if it does work this time, thank you, Joshua Hyde. If it doesn't, then... You know, delay foo. All right, guys, have a good one.
Black and white. Ooh, yeah. Well, we are kissing in the